Hey guys, this is Ray with PhoneArena. You're watching our first comparison between the Sony Xperia Z1, the latest flagship of the Japanese company, and the HTC One. So two very premium, very high-end smartphones right here with great, amazing designs. The Z1 builds on the Xperia Z's design, has the same form pretty much, but it also features this very classy aluminum frame around the device, so you can really feel it that it's an expensive and high quality product just by holding the handset. Meanwhile, the HTC One isn't really far behind because it's almost entirely made of aluminum. So it's a very premium, very high-end smartphone as well. And it will be your personal taste that will dictate whichever handset you prefer, because obviously they're both premium, but they also both have very different design languages here. In terms of their displays, it's pretty much the same thing, because the Xperia Z1 features a very large 5-inch triluminous IPS screen, which is great, but we feel that it won't really be quite as good as the HTC One. Of course, it's too early to say such a thing, to make any conclusions, but by the looks of it, we think that the HTC One is going to have the upper hand. Anyways, 5 inches versus 4.7 inches, both IPS screens, so both will be very high quality panels, and both have resolutions Full HD 1080p, so both are going to be very clear and crisp. In terms of the software that's preloaded on these devices, both run Android 4, Jelly Bean, and of course both companies have their custom user interfaces, which are very different. First, with the Xperia Z1, we have the traditional Sony custom UI, which is the same as the one found in the Sony Xperia Z Ultra. You can read our review at PhoneArena.com. It's a pretty good user interface, nicely polished, very fluid. Meanwhile, on the HTC One, we have this kind of more offbeat solution called Sense 5, which has your blink feed right here, updating you with stuff from your calendar and your social networks, and then you have your standard Android experience right here on these screens, where you can place various shortcuts, widgets, and so on and so forth to your home screens. The main menus of both devices, the Xperia Z1 scrolls horizontally, the HTC One scrolls vertically, but there's not really such a great difference with regards to the actual user experience. In terms of hardware, the Xperia Z1 has the upper hand. It's powered by the Snapdragon 800 chipset, very powerful chipset. Meanwhile, the HTC One has the now mainstream Snapdragon 600 processor, and it's also very fast. Both are extremely fluid and fast. But we do feel that the Xperia Z1 is going to have the upper hand in this comparison as far as performance goes, because we literally cannot notice even a very slight hint of lag with this device. So both are very fast, with the Xperia Z1 having a slight advantage here. In terms of cameras, we think that the Xperia Z1 will once again have the upper hand, as it features the new G-Lens camera. It's a 20.7 megapixel Exmor RS sensor with a size of 1/2.3. So on the other hand, with the HTC One, we have the Sense camera right here, which is 4 megapixel one with ultra pixels, but ultra pixels or not, we haven't been really impressed by the HTC One's camera so far. So we think that it will be pretty easy in this regard for the Xperia Z1 to gain the upper hand. So that's pretty much it for our first early very early comparison between the Xperia Z1 and the HTC One. It would be great to be able to check out these devices in a bit more detail, but this is going to happen later this month when the Xperia Z1 gets released on the market. For now, stay tuned to PhoneArena because we have lots and lots of more interesting coverage about the Xperia Z1.